this is Yunhei and welcome back to the Young Heiress. Well, today I wanted to talk to you guys just a little bit about my new Korean channel that I'm about to launch and all of these behind stories that I have for the Young Heiress. So here it is. So you might even say like, hey, your channel, the Young Heiress, has like 28 subscribers. Like, why do you need another channel? Well, that's exactly what I'm thinking. But there is somehow a logic of how I got to finalize that I want to launch my Korean channel. And it is called The Klosette. And all of the backstory behind it, it actually doesn't really start by thinking of opening a YouTube channel. It actually started by me thinking that I want to have my clothing line. But, I mean, maybe I should rephrase it. I wanted to have a fashion brand that I could sell clothing to. But I wanted to do it the way that Korean girls in Korea are utilizing a lot, and I'm about to expose you this system that is probably somewhat new to you guys and something that is very well known in Korea just because we as Koreans, we kind of grow up around this kind of market situation in Korea, so everybody knows about it, but I guess in a way to the outside world it's a little trade secret. So just because I want to explain how I got to launch my Korean channel on YouTube, here is a little bit of the industry secret as well. Here it is. Boom. So you guys might have shopped on some famous shopping malls from Korea that are online. Something like Stalnanda, 11 a.m. What else? I don't know what others are so famous outside of Korea. And those are what we call in Korea in a technical term, the shopping malls. So the shopping malls are online shopping malls where you can shop clothing online, and they tend to be pretty cheaper than the clothing that you can go on like road shops or shops that you can find physically. And also they tend to have somewhat different styles. There's somewhat this typical type of fashion that you can find on these online shopping malls that initiated from Korea. And they are somewhat within that style because there is Dongdaemun. So if you guys have ever been to Seoul, you might have visited this night market, wholesale market, whatever you want to call it, called Dongdaemun. So a lot of people actually go there to shop. You know, you can actually buy stuff, meaning like kind of retail wise, you can go there and shop clothing that are fashionable, trendy, you know, very up-to-date styles, and also something that is somewhat describable as Korean fashion. You can go to this place called Dongdaemun, which are open at night market time. I think they open around 8 p.m. until like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. and then they close actually in the morning, when retail stores might open in the morning and then they close at night. So they have a reverse cycle of doing their operation, and that is all because this market, Dongdaemun, is based on Wholesale System. So if you go to this area called Dongdaemun, there are a lot of different types of buildings that are wholesale market based buildings, and inside you can find like maybe like 10,000s or 100,000s of different vendors that are manufacturing their own garments and then selling them at a wholesale price. And so this market primarily is for people who are interested in buying clothing at a wholesale price at a wholesale condition. So that market is very unique in a way that wholesale markets are running every single day. They are not closed. I don't think they're even closed on Sundays. Maybe there's some that are closed on Sundays, but most significant factor about it is that they open at nighttime until like dawn, early in the morning. But that's about it. So they open every single day, meaning like a wholesale market with new products every single day is open every single day. Meaning if you were a person who is running an online shopping mall and you wanted to find some new products to sell on your platform, you could go there and find something new every single day. And so the model of being able to find new products every single day and within the periphery of Seoul, it made it so much convenient for people to do online shopping mall and sell clothing online. So a lot of young girls or even like a lot of guys at one point, they all started doing this, and they went to the Dongdaemun Wholesale Market and found their like sort of style that they like to sell, and then they brought it back home. They do like photo shoots to promote it, and then they put it on their website and then they sell it. So this is a simple way to explain it, but that's how a lot of those big sites that are running globally these days started, and they are still running somewhat around that system. Some of the big sites might have now gone to a level where they have like very specific special relationship with some of the wholesalers, and they can actually manufacture their own line so that the designs, the condition, it is all exclusive to certain brands or shopping online shopping malls, sorry. And so it is a system that kind of only exists within the Korean wholesale market, and also it's very different when all those like brands that we know that are, you know, from the luxury segment, or maybe in America like contemporary fashion segments, or you know, Australian temporary designer segments, they all kind of do a very different type of manufacturing and distribution, where their wholesale system works almost like 6 month cycle. So they will release a new collection, and they might do a press room, they might do a showroom, or they might do just a press show or a trunk show, or maybe even a runway to invite buyers to show their new collection. And then after the collection or after the show, they would have this session where initially their purpose is to get orders from the buyers, and then they go into production with that certain amount of orders that they got, and then throughout 3 to 6 months they will start manufacturing those collections, and then once they are manufactured, they deliver them to the buyers. So the cycle works a lot longer versus compared to like Dongdaemun, where you can literally just go and buy off of the shelves whatever you want, whereas in the other parts of the world they have to actually have you order first, maybe put down some down payment, and then they'll go into manufacturing for you. And so there's a lot of pros and cons to this, and there's so many different aspects of things that I can explain about. But after I sort of understood these two different systems and still wanting to like get into the fashion like business, I figured that the system in Korea is very easy to start with, because you don't really need to start with a whole lot of stock on your hands. You can just start with a couple of, you know, maybe like 100 maximum of models that you wanna put on your platform. You might need to buy the samples, or you might be able to borrow the samples, and then you do the photo shoot and you put them online. So you could even start with 0 stock, and then once you start to get orders, people usually run to the Dongdaemun Wholesale Market at nighttime, buy their inventory just for that amount of order, and then ship it out the next day. So that's how a lot of young people with very little startup cash could start this business model. And some of them who started this very early on with this model, it's still somewhat difficult to manage everything by themselves, but once you get it going and you get a word of mouth, you got your publicity done, then you are sort of, on this kind of a really good business model without having to lose too much money on, and then you're ahead. And so when I was growing up, I saw my friends do it. When I was in college, I had some of my college friends who dropped or who kind of like didn't drop out, but they, you know, took some semesters off because they were doing this. And so it was a very doable business. And ever since I started to travel outside of Korea and I didn't really have like a fixed job that I could pursue my fashion career in, this was like the thing that I wanted to do because I knew how it worked. And I knew that now those Korean manufacturers are becoming very competitive in the global market as well. And so hence like websites like Style, they all became very successful once they started to operate globally. I think also on the other hand, when I see some brands that are like literally born from scratch as a brand, for example, recently there was the famous blogger Ami Song who launched her line Song of Style through Revolve exclusively, and those lines, for example, were designed, manufactured, and specifically distributed through Revolve. So I don't even, I wouldn't know how much stock they start with, but it is definitely their own design, their own manufacturing, and then their own distribution. So this is very different from, individuals like me who can go to Dongdaemun and just buy wholesale priced, wholesale marketed products that anyone could have access to. And also, I was watching a video by Jenim, and she was explaining about Eggy, which is her clothing line as well. And she was also explaining about the manufacturing process of her Eggy line. And then I understood that she's also manufacturing her own line. And so here, I think when any celebrities or any individual who wants to start their own fashion brand, it is very common and it is very understandable that they start with their own manufacturing, which definitely means they have their own design, whether it be themselves as a designer or whether them as a sort of like a celebrity namesake who works with a design team. Whatever the system is, they will still have their own design and then manufacture it and distribute it in their own ways. So like I said, there is no no teaming up in this, and there is no reason for me to say this to promote anybody or to kill anybody. But it's really just like a well-known trade secret for Korean shopping malls, and that's initially what I really wanted to do. Wow, that was a big background story. So here's why I ended up doing YouTube of my Korean channel. Oh my god. Okay, next phase. Hi guys, this is Yoonhae and welcome back to the Young Heiress. So then why am I blabbing about all of this? Well, I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to go to Korea and find my wholesaler vendor, and then once I can find the style that I want to pursue, I'm going to do the same thing of either buying or borrowing samples, do my photo shoots in New York, and once I get orders, I can start to buy individual stock from those wholesalers who are in Korea. But already the fact that I'm going to be based here and the wholesalers are actually based in Seoul, that is where my problems kind of started to arise. For example, if I need to buy the stocks to be able to resell on my website, I need to have them shipped from Korea to myself here. And then I will do the quality control and I will go through all the packagings here and then ship it out to another address, hopefully in the US. And so that means there's 2 times the shipping cost, which the one from Korea to here is actually pretty expensive. So given the price range of these wholesaling, not the wholesaling, but like the price of products that I could actually sell according to the price that I bought at the wholesalers is going to be relatively competitive. But once I put the shipping cost onto it, sometimes you might even have like a very affordable t-shirt with a very high shipping cost, and who would buy that? And so we did more research, and it just turns out that a lot of people have tried to, in a way, import things from Korea in small quantity and resell them in the US market, but just like us, they had the same issue of the shipping cost. And so unless you have like a business of economy where you can just, you know, ship a whole load of like shipping through literally like ships and then have them docked over for like after almost like a month, and then you can sell a big quantity to a big distribution channel, the model of importing is not going to work. And so that was my stopping point. I had made my brand name, I had, you know, started working on the website and my concept and mood board and all of that, and then one day I realized that this is not a dual business. And so I sat down with my partner and we said to ourselves, well, once we have our brand, the biggest thing that we need to focus on will be marketing, since we don't manufacture our garments. The type of business that we're trying to do is basically based on doing marketing, about promoting the product, about promoting your site, about promoting your site as a brand and your style. And that's what makes, you know, every competition within that sort of shopping malls like either be super exposed or not exposed. And so which means what is, you know, what is publicity, what is marketing these days? It's digital. What is digital? Then it's like Instagram, it's YouTube, it's, you know, it's social media. So then one way or another we'll end up having to do these promotions anyway. So we were like, well, you know, it's not like just because we have our website going, we have tons of merchandises to sell, people are gonna start coming and start, you know, just looking and thinking it's all, you know, there. How would they know we're there? So we were like, well, we might as, you know, start getting people to know about our brand first, right? And so we just reversed the order of what we were thinking, and we decided to drop the idea of opening the shopping mall right away. And we've decided that while we're still in New York, you know, we can still promote the name of our brand that we will have in the future as our YouTube. And we'll start our YouTube. Wow, yes. So yesterday morning, I opened the account for my YouTube channel and it has 0 subscribers. So if you guys can go follow this link below and at least follow it, it'll be really great. There's no videos there for now. This video that I'm doing is for my channel on the Young Heiress, and because I'm going to have the other channel for the clothing and fashion stories, my channel is going to be very BTS stuff, all about this me talking or showing you what I'm doing behind the scenes. So actually I'm just gonna show you a little bit of how I filmed my first video on the closet, but here's the last part. Why is my video in Korean? So my new YouTube channel is going to be called The Klosette, and the closet is going to be spelled with a K for Korea, K-pop, K-pop style, Korean fashion, Korean. It's all about that. And so it's a closet where you can come and see like Korean fashion style, or me as a Korean, you know, even if I go to American stores here, any stores that I see in New York, I'm gonna end up interpreting it in a way that I see as me, and me as sort of a person who has influence from Korean fashion. And so that is why it is called The Klosette. But my partner and I were thinking like, okay, my English is not bad. I mean, I do make mistakes sometimes, I know that. But being Korean see, my mistake. So being Korean being my first language, right, there we go. It sometimes gives me like a lot of comfort, and like when I'm just like, you know, having to describe something or I have to express something, it just comes out naturally that like in Korean, like I would say in certain ways. And so I thought it would be like a bit more interesting and fun for me to see my reaction as well while I'm filming. And also like I can tell my mom what I'm doing. Sometimes I tell my mom I have uploaded this video on my YouTube, and my mom's like, oh, okay darling, I'll go and take a look. And then I send her the link and she goes and looks and she says like, oh, it's really beautiful. But what were you saying exactly? I'm like, Mom. I mean, yeah, my mom lives in Korea. She's a lovely lady. She's a very well-traveled, well-educated person, but she's not going to understand every single thing on my English channel. And so, I mean, I have met a lot of friends who were interested in the Korean language, and I mean, you know, Korean is my first language. So I have decided to do the closet in Korean language, but I will do my best to provide English subtitles, so even anybody who doesn't understand Korean can still watch it and you can look at the subtitles, right? It's gonna be a little different dynamics, and you know, I might speak differently or look differently or sound differently. So there we go. That was the long story behind my Korean YouTube channel, The Closet. Please support both of my channels, and you know, in the future it will be interesting for you guys to come and see here what's going on the behind the scenes, whereas on The Closet you can see what's actually going on the scenes. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all of your support. If you guys have anything to say about what I just explained about the industry, like, I will take it. Just let me know what you guys think, and I have so much appreciation for you guys for watching this video until the end. Thank you so much. Please like the video and don't forget to subscribe. 감사합니다. Bye. 여러분, 제키입니다. 네, 저는 더 클로젯의 제키이고요. 여러분하고 첫 방송을 하게 돼서 너무 기쁩니다. 저는 지금 현재 더 빅 애플에 있고요. 그 빅 애플 뭔지 아시죠? 빅 애플이라는 거는 바로 뉴욕입니다. 제가 다음번에는 사과를 준비할게요. 오늘 사과가 없어가지고 이렇게 이쁜 플라워 부케를 준비해봤어요. 어쨌든 간에